Hey there. Ever get the feeling that your stuff is kind of watching you?
Hmm.
Today, we're going deep on how even the most ordinary things in our homes, from shoes to walkways, can impact our energy. You ready to see your space in a whole new light?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We'll be drawing from a unique source today, um, a piece exploring Buddhist philosophy
Okay.
and how it views our environment as a reflection of our inner selves.
I love that. Okay, let's unpack this, starting with objects.
Sure.
This source suggests that objects actually hold vibrations.
Yeah.
Not like your phone buzzing,
No,
but
no.
more like an energetic imprint that can affect us.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Right.
It's about the energy these objects have absorbed over time. Think about a family heirloom.
Oh, yeah.
It might carry the warmth of generations, right?
Totally.
But that old desk from a stressful job,
Oh.
that could be holding on to some not so great vibes.
So it's not just about clutter. It's about the history our stuff carries.
Exactly.
I'm already eyeing that stack of magazines I've been meaning to recycle.
Buddhism emphasizes detachment.
Okay.
Not in a cold way, but being mindful of what we keep around us. It's about asking, does this object serve me or is it holding me back?
That's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
And you know what's really fascinating?
What's that?
This piece suggests that broken objects are more than just eyesores. They might actually symbolize things that are out of balance in our lives.
It's this idea that our inner and outer worlds are mirrored.
Okay.
So a cracked mirror might reflect feeling fragmented, while a broken clock could symbolize feeling out of sync with time.
Interesting.
It's not about literal interpretations, but noticing patterns.
Okay, hold on. That is spooky, but kind of makes sense. I've had this chipped mug forever.
Oh,
And honestly, I've been feeling stuck in a rut lately. Could
Yeah.
they be connected?
it's possible.
Whoa.
And what's interesting is that Buddhist thought suggests
Yeah.
repairing these objects can be a symbolic act of restoring harmony in our lives.
So fixing that wobbly chair leg could be like fixing a part of me.
You got it.
I'm starting to see my to-do list in a whole new way. But before I get too lost in DIY projects,
Yeah.
let's move on to walkways.
Walkways, according to this source, symbolize our path through life.
Hmm.
Not just physically, but spiritually, too.
Okay.
The state of our walkways can mirror our internal journey.
So a clear path means a clear mind,
Right.
while a cluttered one suggests feeling blocked.
Exactly.
If I'm constantly tripping over stuff, maybe it's time for some decluttering inside and out.
Precisely. It's about recognizing how our external environment influences our inner state. What's fascinating is that even the act of clearing a walkway can be seen as a ritual, a way to create space for new energy to flow.
I'm definitely feeling inspired to sweep my porch. Now, this next one really surprised me. Shoes.
Shoes might seem mundane, but in many spiritual traditions, they hold a lot of symbolism.
Early.
They represent our journey, our preparedness, even our readiness to move forward.
The source says worn-out shoes could symbolize feeling stuck, while a shiny new pair signifies a fresh start. It's like those shoes are telling a story about where we are in life.
And even the act of caring for our shoes, cleaning them, polishing them, can be a way to revitalize our energy and step into a new chapter.
Okay, I'm officially giving my sneakers some TLC tonight. But before I go shoe shopping, we've got one more element. Paths. How are these different from walkways?
While walkways represent our present journey paths, according to this piece, are about the future we're creating. They reflect our choices, our intentions, where we're headed in life.
So it's not just about wandering aimlessly, it's about making conscious choices that lead us towards our goals.
Right.
I like that. But what if you're not sure where you're going?
That's where the Buddhist concept of the middle way comes in.
Okay.
This source explains it as finding balance between extremes. Not getting stuck in rigid plans, but staying open to possibilities and trusting your intuition.
So it's more about being open to the journey, even the detours. I can get behind that. But all the symbolism is great. How do we actually apply it to our lives?
The first step is awareness.
Okay.
Look around your home with fresh eyes.
Okay.
Notice your objects, walkways, shoes, even the paths in your yard. Ask yourself, what are they reflecting back to me about my current state?
So it's like a mindful home inventory.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm in. But what about things that just feel off? Like I have this pile of clothes I've been meaning to donate forever.
Those clothes could represent a past version of yourself that you're ready to let go of. Donating them could be a symbolic act of making space for new experiences. It's not just about tidying up, it's about aligning your space with who you are now.
Okay, I'm seeing the connection. And what about those broken things we were talking about? Do we need to go on a fixing spree?
Not necessarily. Sometimes repairing something can be therapeutic, a way to reclaim your power.
Okay.
But other times, letting go is more beneficial. It's about asking, does this object serve me, or is it time to release it? It could be a physical object or even an outdated belief.
That makes so much sense. It's like giving ourselves permission to say goodbye to things that are no longer serving us, whether it's a chipped mug or a limiting belief. Sometimes letting go is the best way to move forward.
Exactly. It's about decluttering not just our physical space, but our mental and emotional space too. And that can create a sense of lightness and freedom to pursue what truly matters.
Okay, I'm feeling lighter already. But you mentioned paths as representing our future.
Yes.
What if someone feels lost and doesn't know which path to take?
That's where the middle way comes in again.
Right.
This source emphasizes finding that balance between planning and being open to detours. It's about setting intentions, but also trusting your gut and being willing to adjust course along the way.
So it's not about having everything perfectly mapped out. It's about embracing the journey and being open to those unexpected turns.
Precisely. Sometimes the most scenic paths are the ones we didn't plan for.
I love that. It reminds me of the saying, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. It's great to have goals, but we also need to be flexible and adaptable along the way.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot between intention and surrender, between effort and allowing. That's where the magic happens.
Okay, we've covered a lot. Objects, walkways, shoes, paths, even chipped mugs. But how do we make all these changes last? It's one thing to declutter and set intentions, but how do we keep that positive energy flowing?
It's about cultivating mindfulness in everyday life.
Okay.
Paying attention to the little things, making conscious choices, and regularly checking in with yourself to see if your actions are aligned with your values and goals.
So it's not a one-time makeover. It's an ongoing process of self-reflection and adjustment.
Exactly. It's like tending a garden.
Ooh, I like that.
You need to water the seeds of intention, weed out negative thoughts and habits, and nurture the growth of your aspirations. And just like a garden, it requires ongoing attention and care.
That's a perfect analogy. So it's about making those small, mindful choices each day, whether it's wearing shoes that make you feel confident or taking a minute to clear clutter from your desk. It's those little actions that add up and create a ripple effect of positive energy.
Absolutely. And the more you practice mindfulness, the more intuitive it becomes. You start to notice how your environment affects you and can adjust accordingly. It's like developing a sixth sense for energy.
That's so cool. Like we're becoming energy detectives, constantly scanning our surroundings for clues and making small shifts to optimize our well-being.
Exactly. It's amazing how much power we have to shape our reality when we start paying attention to the little things.
Okay, before we let our listeners go, what's one key takeaway from all of this?
Pay attention to your surroundings. They're not just a backdrop to your life. They're a reflection of your inner world and can influence your energy and well-being. Choose wisely what you surround yourself with, and watch as your life transforms.
That is such a powerful reminder. And listeners, we want to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these connections in your own life? What objects, walkways, shoes, or even paths hold special meaning for you? Share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing your insights.
And remember, even small changes can make a big difference. Don't feel overwhelmed.
Right.
Start with one small area, one object, one path. Maybe it's clearing your desk, fixing that wobbly doorknob, or finally donating those shoes that pinch your feet.
It's about those little acts of intentionality that can shift our energy and create a ripple effect outward. It's like sending a message to the universe saying, hey, I'm paying attention. I'm ready for positive change.
And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, tends to respond in kind.
I love that. So to recap, we've learned that our homes are more than just physical spaces. They're energetic ecosystems that reflect and influence our inner state. By paying attention to the symbolism of everyday objects, walkways, shoes, and paths, we can gain insights into ourselves and make conscious choices that create more harmony, balance, and purpose in our lives.
It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of everything from the smallest object to the grandest path we choose to walk, and remembering that we have the power to shape our reality one mindful step at a time.
Okay, before we sign off, I want to leave our listeners with a little something to ponder. We've talked about the symbolic meaning of paths, but what about the spaces in between? What about those moments of transition, those thresholds we cross as we move from one phase of life to the next?
That's a fascinating question. Those in-between spaces, those doorways and crossroads, hold a special kind of energy. They're portals of possibility moments where we can pause, reflect, and choose our next steps with intention.
So as you go about your day-to-day, pay attention to those thresholds. Notice how you feel as you move from one room to another, from your home to the outside world, from one chapter of your life to the next. What do those transitions reveal to you about yourself and your path?
It's in those moments of liminality, those spaces between the known and the unknown, that we often find the greatest opportunities for growth and transformation.
And that, my friends, is a thought worth pondering. Until next time, keep exploring, keep evolving, and keep paying attention to those subtle but powerful energies that surround you.
And remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Embrace the unknown, trust the process, and watch as the path unfolds before you.
Beautifully said. Thanks again for joining us on the Deep Dive. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the fascinating world of knowledge and discovery.